Scott Cagney, everyone! What's up? Cool. So I'm feeling a little lost these days because I was growing a beard for like 6 months and I shaved it off in a fit of insanity. And as you can see, I'm trying to grow it back. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. Great. I'm trying to grow it back because I get the same reaction from everybody when I shave. I always get some version of, "Oh my God, you shaved your beard. Oh, I haven't seen you without a beard in so long. That's crazy. You should grow it back." Every time. And when you say that to somebody, what you're really saying is, I hate your face. I just hate everything you're doing in this area. If you could just grow something over it, or I don't know if you have a scarf, if you could just cover up all the fat parts with hair, that would be great, because you'd look so much better. If you have a motorcycle helmet you could put on that would just cover just this part, that would be really sweet. So, I'm taking their advice, trying to put it back. I just came back a couple weeks ago. I went on a cruise. I don't know if anybody's ever been on a cruise before, but they're interesting, very, very interesting. It's one of those all-inclusive situations, so you pay like $200, $300 and you get all the food you can eat. And apparently some people take that as like a challenge, I guess. It really does bring out like the worst in people. There was one night we were sitting at dinner and they make you sit with people you don't want to sit with, which is just the worst. It's never the people you want. It's never like, oh look, 2 supermodels who are single and have very low standards. Great. They sat this couple, how can I describe them? They were a fat, white, middle-aged Southern. They were Republicans. We had a couple of Republicans sat next to us, and the guy was one of those. He just had this like stern face, like he was like so angry all the time. And the woman may have been the most terrified person I've ever seen in my life. She had a resting face that was just like any second he could like haul off and hit her or something. I don't know what the situation was, but it weirded me out completely. So we ordered dinner, they get their food, and the wife gets like a lobster tail. I mean, it's a small lobster tail. And she says, I think I might get another one, which you can do on the cruise. You can get as much as you want, you pay it. And the guy goes, well, if you're gonna get another lobster tail, then you better believe I'm getting another prime rib. And I was, in my head, I was like, sir, I had the prime rib, and it was sufficient for me. And when somebody like me tells you, I think you've had enough food, you've had enough food. Like, that's pretty much it. You should stop. The best part, the busboy comes to clear his plate from his first of presumably many, many prime ribs. And he tries to take the steak knife that came with it, and the guy, no shit, grabs his wrist and goes, no, you better leave that right there. Because you better believe I'm ordering another prime rib. It just became like his catchphrase, like he wouldn't stop saying it. You know, it was just like so intense and so aggressive. Like, you better drop that knife or I'm gonna fucking stab you with that knife and then eat another prime rib. Like, he just kept going with it. It was really, really absurd. One of the stops we made was in Cozumel, Mexico, which was very nice. It was very, very nice. And a lot of the people in that area, it's very touristy, so a lot of the Mexicans there speak like really good English. But there were still kind of like some communication barriers every once in a while. Let me give you a couple examples here. So we go to the beach, and like in the first 10 seconds, a guy comes up to us. He's like, hey, you guys want some cigars? I got Cubans. And we're like, no, we're good. And he stops, he goes, you want weed? And I was like, I do. But I gotta get back on a boat, it's gonna be a whole thing. No, I'm good. So I was like, no, I'm good. And he stops. And this is when I realized I must just look like a gigantic stoner to people. Because he stops and goes, you don't smoke weed? And I was like, yeah, I do, but all right, fine. So long story short, I bought weed off this guy. And he brings me into this little shop, and another guy comes out with the stuff. And I'm trying to tell them, I'm like, I don't need that much. I just need a little bit. I'm getting back on a boat, and I'm gonna have to ditch it at some point anyway. And the guy goes, no, it's okay. You just take it, and you put it down here. You put it down here, right in your pussy. And I was like, what pussy? Like, does he only know one word for genitalia and he thinks it's just interchangeable, like can use it whenever? And even if that were the case, how would I put it in my penis? It's not. And then I thought, I was like, maybe he's insulting me? And he's like, oh yeah, you're a little scared about bringing it back on the boat? You know what you could do? Just put it right in your pussy, you little bitch. Unbelievable. My favorite time, there was a communication barrier though. We walked to a really shitty part of Cozumel, real Cozumel. Talking like stray dogs and abandoned buildings and stuff. And we're walking by this group of guys in front of a building and the guy goes, hey, you guys want to go upstairs and see the girls? And I look up and I just see a pair of eyes over like a windowsill. And the first thought I had, and I'm so glad it was the first thought I had, I have no idea how old this girl is. She could be 30, she could be 14. I don't want to get involved with this. No, thank you, no. Plus, we didn't have time. We were totally on a schedule. We didn't have enough time. So we say, no, thank you. And as we're walking away, he stops and he goes, they're naked. I'm like, yeah, I got that. No, I understood that. We understood all that. What did you think I was walking into? What did I think? Was it like a sewing circle? Was it a book club? They were all having tea up there and we were just gonna talk? I understand, they're naked. I get what it's supposed to be. Alright guys, so that's my time. Thank you very much.
One more time for Scott Cagney, guys.